For some of you, you're about to embark on a great journey of applying and auditioning for some colleges and universities for music. It's a great season of lots of practicing, writing, and decision making. One of the most important decisions you'll be making is regarding what repertoire you should be playing at your audition. You may have questions like, what do they want to hear? Do I have to use extended techniques? Should I be using multiple saxophones? How challenging should the music be, or should I play a transcription? So I want to take a few minutes to briefly talk about what I believe is the most important thing to think about, and maybe even it's a little bit overlooked as you're deciding on what audition repertoire you should be playing. Let's talk about it. Now, first off, if you're here, I'm assuming that you're auditioning for college, which will be the focus of this video, but these tips can also apply for you if you're competing in a solo or quartet competition that's coming up. Now, assuming that you've narrowed your list of schools down, the first thing you want to do is to go online to the websites of each of the particular school of musics that you're auditioning for and look at their audition requirements. Some schools will have specific repertoire requirements, and others may have very broad and general requirements like perform 2 works of contrasting style, or maybe even something like perform 2 works, one of which was composed in the last 10 years. Now, I will create a document of the requirements of all of the programs, and this will give you a good idea of what you need to be starting on in terms of your preparation. I've been a saxophone professor at the university level since 2010, and I've had many years of listening to auditions and hearing the questions and concerns of the auditionees. But if I had to give a single piece of advice as it pertains to choosing repertoire, it would be this: put your best foot forward. This sounds very obvious, but y'all, this is huge. Sometimes we can be in what I call the higher, faster, louder mindset and aim to be the most impressive technically. Being technically impressive now is not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing, but we have to ask ourselves, are we losing any important elements in our playing to achieve this? You don't have to play the hardest piece in the world to play a dynamite college audition. Do challenging pieces matter in your college audition? Well, yeah, I think it does, but only if it's played well. And too many times I feel like the college auditioner doesn't get a clear sense of who the auditionee is as a player. It's because the piece or pieces chosen are maybe a little bit too challenging to the point where the player can't put their best foot forward. Here's a question to ask yourself when you're choosing your rep. Are my fundamentals getting sacrificed when I'm playing this piece? Now, if the answer to that question is yes, then it's either an issue with the effectiveness of your practicing, or we have to be real with ourselves here. We may have to understand that this piece might not be right for you yet. I'm not saying that you can never play this piece. I'm just saying that it might not be the best fit if the technique of the piece is hindering your handle of the saxophone in a significant way. And that is not great for any audition. So the best advice I can give for your audition repertoire is to make sure that you're showcasing your best self. Put your best foot forward as best as you possibly can. If this means playing something as challenging as the Fuzzy Bird Sonata or the Denisov Sonata or the Albright Sonata or something of that nature, then by all means, go for it. But if this means playing a transcription of, say, the Saison Clarinet Sonata, Opus 167, that could be just as strong of a piece if you're able to showcase your best foot by playing with a good sound, in tune, with sensitivity and musicality. Please don't fall into the trap of trying to be that player that the teacher wants to hear. You'll have a higher chance of being that player if you can show us who you are in the most effective way. And that sometimes could mean playing a piece that is a tiny bit simpler. And there's no shame in that at all. Now, with all of that said, some schools are very specific as to what they want you to play. In that case, you may have to work up those pieces, but if they give you a list of options to choose from, choose the pieces that are in line with where you are in your development, not the piece that you think is the most demanding, irregardless of your training. I hope that this advice isn't too off-putting, but I think that if you try it out, there will be a better chance of the teacher hearing you and who you are, which can potentially have better outcomes. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos of this nature, feel free to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. That way you'll get immediate updates as I upload new videos in the weeks and months to come. So in the meantime, I'll see you next time and happy practicing.